This is Saturday Morning Mysteries.
And we're your hosts, Alexis and Grace. Hello, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of the day it is that you're listening and watching to this. This is Saturday Morning Mysteries, and we are your hosts. I'm Alexis.
I'm Grace.
And we're back for yet another episode of our new show arc that we are thoroughly enjoying thus far. The amazing Canadian cartoon classic, 2001, I believe it came out, called Moville Mysteries. It was 2001 or 2002, one of those years. Yes, a animated version, essentially, animated hybrid of what we say is the Twilight Zone and the X-Files, inspired by the animation of like Rocket Power and Aubrey on Monsters. If that doesn't make you want to listen to today's episode, I don't know what will.
We can't help you.
Grace is at bat today. Yeah, we can't. That sounds like a personal problem. That's just bad taste, in my opinion.
Like
if that's the
problem.
Case, yeah,
stop bringing
get it together.
Us.
Uncultured, okay. So Grace is going to enlighten us with probably a culturally significant episode of this show.
Oh, yes.
No
very
pressure.
much so. A very high-class cultured episode for you today. We are doing season 1, episode 6, entitled Swarm Enough for You. Also, I feel like we've mentioned this before, but this is also streaming on Tubi. So, like, I think it's worth mentioning since Tubi's free that, like, y'all should go watch after you listen to our episodes.
Exactly.
Anyways, we start off with an immediate, huge mystery, perhaps the biggest one of the show so far. And I will pose the question and then tell you why I'm asking this question.
Okay.
Are Mimi and Mo dating?
Oh, so I don't think so. I kind of felt. How much of my opinion do you want on this?
I want your opinion, and then I'll tell you why. Because my opinion was they're not dating, and then something happens here that I'll tell you in a second. But tell me your opinion first.
So my opinion was no, because there are certain points in the episodes that I've seen so far where I see Mimi almost given Hitch eyes. Or where I think in the past, yes, a love triangle. Oh, no, we're back at another love triangle. But like zooms in like those like Hispanic soap operas. But also because in one of the episodes I did where that lying kid was saying Mimi never kissed him, like Mo didn't seem fazed or anything whatsoever. Right. He was just like, "You okay, Milo? You seem like you were just possessed." Yeah. So that's why I think no. But do go on and explain how this episode turns our theories on its head.
Actually, no, I think that's a good point that Mo/Momo didn't have a reaction to that. Maybe Mimi just has a crush on maybe both of them potentially. And the reason why I am asking this is because we start off at like, the local soda shop type of thing, their local burger joint. And it's the evening time and there's this like huge harvest moon out. So, it's like the bright orange moon that happens sometimes, like orangish red. And Mo and Mimi are sharing like a milkshake or like a soda or something like that. And Mo looks up at the moon and says, "I like to think of a harvest moon as a vampire moon, a blood red moon, a harbinger of evil." And Mimi goes, "Wow, so romantic." And is like pissed about him saying something like that. Okay. So like, I don't know. And there's one other moment down the line a little bit that again made me be like, are they dating? Or again, is this just like her being like, ugh, eye roll? Or something like that. But the sharing milkshake, her being like, "You're ruining this romantic moment." Maybe Mimi's just crushing on them, which is why she goes along with all of his spooky ideas all the time.
Right. Just accepts it, but also stops him before he does something that will like ruin his life and his record. Like, no, wait, don't go to prison. I'm
not going to visit you in juvie. That's so much work. Exactly. I'll start dating Hitch at that point. Anyways, it's like not very important, but her saying that did make me be like, huh? So maybe she's just crushing on them. Or maybe
she's just saying it, like just making fun of him, like God,
Yeah,
like,
like,
why am I even friends with you? You have no
yeah,
social skills.
yes, which is very true
But
about Mo.
very true.
Extremely
But
true.
sharing the milkshake, for me, that was enough for me to be like, oh, maybe they are dating. But you
Yeah,
add
they're
that
like
on there too, and it's like,
15.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
14, 15.
we'll see.
Anyways,
Perhaps we'll
yeah,
see.
good for you, Mimi. Do your
Yeah,
thing, girly. So we
right.
don't
Work both them
uh,
boys.
yeah, exactly. You get it, girl. Do what
She
you
gets a
gotta do.
free milkshake from Mo, and she's meeting up with Hitch after this to get a free, like, I don't know, like cheese fries or something.
Funny you should mention
She's working
Hitch.
the system. Oh no. Okay.
Hitch is there clearly as a third wheel situation. But before we see
Got
Hitch,
it.
we unfortunately get cut off from this possibly romantic, possibly platonic scene because before Mo
Mhm.
can respond and confirm or deny my new theory, they both kind of like their conversation gets cut off because they start slapping like their arms, their forearms, and like their shoulders as they're like smacking some bugs that like started flying over to them. It seems like it's like early
Oh,
summertime, like end of school year vibe. So those bugs are really coming out.
yeah.
And we see
Okay.
from behind them, yes, as kind of a third wheel, Hitch is over at like the cash register. He's getting an enormous ice cream sundae. But right as he gets it, he also gets swarmed by these same bugs, which are drawn to his sugary treat. And thinking quickly, Hitch runs to like kind of like the edge of like the store, like this little soda shop where there's one of those like just like the bug zappers, you know, like the big bright light type of things that like bugs
Hmm.
are naturally attracted to and then they zap and kill themselves,
Yeah.
type of thing. So
Electrocute them. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like a
Go to the
electrocuting
light.
light. Yeah. Bugs, please go to the
Yeah.
light. That's basically what Hitch is doing. And so they do all these bugs that were like getting in his ice cream. He goes to it. They immediately are attracted to the light, get electrocuted, and then fall back into his ice cream, which he, like a nasty
Oh,
teenage boy,
great.
is like, they're just toasted now and eats his ice cream. So,
I was gonna say at least they're cooked, so that's,
I mean, yeah,
kind
I
of
was like, you
better.
know what?
But
Maybe Hitch is cultured. A lot of different cultures eat bugs, so this is our cultured part of our
they
episode. Hitch is
do.
cultured, apparently.
Yeah. He's with
So,
it. Good for him.
yeah, good for you, Mimi. Good choice. So we go.
Are we gonna have to do rankings again or the competition? Who's getting the points? Who's winning Mimi's heart? Like we did
Exactly,
for
but
Skip and Augie with April.
except it's the opposite where Mo and Hitch are not interested in Mimi's heart at all. They're just friends with her.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, yes, we go back to Mo and Mimi, who again, they start like more bugs are coming their way and they're like swatting at them like crazy. And we get a zoom in to see like what this bug actually is. And it is my absolute least favorite bug of all time, mosquitoes. And
Mm.
the animation of this
Mhm.
is nasty. We see the mosquito like stick its little snout thing into Mo's arm, and like their bodies in this episode are like kind of transparent. And so we see the like blood coming
Yeah.
up into the mosquito
Oh
and
God.
filling its body, like getting filled with blood until it gets like bigger and bigger and bigger and bloated. Like it swells up until Mo
Ugh.
smacks it. And it was nasty. So every time we see the mosquitoes, we just see
Gross.
them getting filled with blood.
With
So
great.
this date slash friend hang is over pretty quickly. They all just run home because they're like, okay, these mosquitoes are gross. This is ruining our evening. And they are also starting to grow to like the mosquito, like the number of mosquitoes is increasing very quickly,
Mm.
and there's kind of nowhere to hide. The bug zappers are not doing the job. So we're going to pause here to talk about
Yeah.
mosquitoes.
Ugh.
I,
Your
first of all,
mortal nemesis.
I fucking hate mosquitoes
Yeah.
so much. I have been sent home from a Girl Scout camp because I got a mosquito bite on my face and it swelled up so much that I had to get sent home because I am like,
Oh
basically
God.
people's like skins react because we're like allergic to like the saliva of these mosquitoes, and I am just like
Hmm.
extremely allergic. I have so many scars. Like I get bit by a mosquito without even scratching it, it like welts up and turns into a scar. I hate them. but I think they're like good for the environment
But they
because
love you.
God, I'm
They
so
clearly love
loved.
you.
I'm so popular. I can't help it. So I looked up some fun mosquito facts. It did not make me like them
Mm,
anymore, but I thought I would throw them a bone and tell you some interesting things
good.
about
Yeah.
them. So
You've got to play both sides, you know. We've got to be fair and balanced here.
yes, I will tell you my bias, but I will also give you the other side and tell you that it didn't sway
Fair.
me, but it might sway you, the audience and listeners. So
Okay, we'll see. Yeah,
yeah, and then you can I'll
probably
tell you
not.
these facts, and then you tell me what you think about them afterwards. So
Yeah.
first, there was a couple different amounts or numbers attached to this fun fact, but according to National Geographic, um, their wings beat about 1,000 times per second, which is why you like hear a buzzing noise with
Wow.
them. Yeah, I found like 600 to
Hmm.
1,000 times per second. They can fly
Huh.
from 1 to 1.5 miles per hour, which is feels very
Whoa.
fast,
That's
right? That's like very fast. They're
yeah,
very
yeah,
small.
yeah, but it's yeah, true. Yeah, yeah. When you think about their size, that is fast. I was like,
Yeah, it's
that's
not a
nothing.
person
A human
walking.
walking, but exactly. So,
And then the
okay,
light
fair.
jog.
Or even if it was
Yes.
a bird, if it was a bird, I would also be like, okay,
Yeah, not
so,
impressive. It's
but
a
no, yeah,
bug.
a mosquito is tiny. Okay.
Yes.
You're they're
They
not
can
winning, you're not winning me over with these with these fun
I'm
facts.
just telling you how much stronger they are, actually. I'm telling you how much scarier they are. For example, they
Yes.
can smell the carbon dioxide that we exhale from 60 to 75 feet away. Um,
Oh, that's not
only,
fair.
yeah, they have a lot of unfair advantages. Only female mosquitoes bite. And again, it's the saliva that is what like people react to and why we get
Oh,
itchy because we're allergic to the saliva, some of us,
yeah.
many of us. Different species of mosquitoes, there's lots of species, which I did not know, prefer the blood of different animals. So some only drink the blood of
Oh,
snakes or frogs or birds or
oh,
people. And then this is my favorite
interesting.
fact because confirmation bias. There are many, it turns out, origin myths around mosquitoes from cultures across the world, and at least the ones listed on Wikipedia seem to revolve that around like a tale about mosquitoes rising from the ashes of a demon or a giant evil creature who was vanquished and came back as mosquitoes. And basically, every culture that experiences them was like, this is an evil demon that rose from the grave. So
Fair. Yeah, I
I agree.
mean, things that eat blood tend to get painted with a pretty negative brush.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you're
that's
right.
fair, but also hilarious that they're like these mosquitoes are basically phoenixes rising from the
Evil
flames to
phoenixes.
totally destroy, yeah, evil phoenixes to destroy us all.
Yeah, to finish the
Yeah, that's
job.
pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay. You're on the same
yeah.
boat as me on our mosquito
Oh
hate,
yeah.
anti-mosquito stance.
Yeah, it's stronger than ever, especially to see that the hate goes back like thousands of years through
Yeah,
ancient
I feel vindicated.
civilizations. Yeah. Like, see, humans can agree on some things all the
See,
time.
a cultured episode.
Yeah, look at us.
We agree with them. So, any
Amazing.
Schwazes, the next day in school, we see Mo, Mimi, and Hitch in their biology class. And we see that not only these three, but the teachers and the students are all covered in bug bites. Like everybody is sitting there itching,
Jeez.
applying some cream to help stop the itching. Apparently, it came all over town. These mosquitoes showed up. Luckily,
Mhm.
it's science class, so we get a little bit of vengeance in the sense of the class decided not to dissect frogs that day, but instead to feed mosquitoes to the frogs. So, like, that was satisfying to me.
Oh,
I support this.
I thought you were gonna say they decided to dissect mosquitoes. I was like, that would be interesting and difficult.
Anticlimactic, probably. It just
Yeah.
dies. It just sploots out
It's
immediately, I
they're
guess.
like, oh, it's full of my blood.
Blood.
That's
Yes,
it.
all of my own blood. Can I have that back? Excuse me,
Uh,
thank you. So, yes, we see them kind of like the outside the window of the classroom. There's like it's starting to get to swarm status here, if you will, of the
Mm.
amount of mosquitoes. They're like roving the streets. The kids are like opening up the window for a second and like capturing them in a jar and then like feeding them to the frogs. And the teacher's like, yes, continue this
Nice.
effort. Fuck these mosquitoes. So
Good,
they,
good.
yeah, good, kill them all. So they get through the school day pretty miserably. And, they go home, do their homework. They're allowed to go play afterwards. They obviously want to hang out still. And so we see Mo and Mimi, just the two of them, romantically out on
Mm.
the front steps under another beautiful
Oh.
moon. This time, Mo is
Mm.
commenting how beautiful it is. He's saying it's a
Mm.
gorgeous night out. The moon is so powerful. I think he's making up for the night before with Mimi.
He took
Um,
notes. Yeah.
yep. Again, Sharon, that's all I see is a single soda out here. So we don't know.
Hmm.
This is the last moment in which maybe, now there's, I think, one more, but still, we're confused about what's happening. But in
Yeah.
the end, it's pretty
Everyone's giving
unromantic.
mixed signals.
They're teenagers. They don't know what's happening. But
Yeah.
it is pretty unromantic because, there's mosquitoes everywhere. So both Mo and Mimi are wearing like hats with mosquito nets on, which is, not a
Oh.
cute look for
But it
anyone.
shows what they are trying, how it shows how far they are willing to go to spend time with each other. Because also, if that's
Yes.
happening to me, I'm like, no, I'm staying inside. I'm not going outside to hang out with
Yeah, I don't
you.
care. Text me. Bye.
They are willing to track down and find net hats or whatever.
Exactly.
You
Mosquito net
know,
hats.
I'll
Sit
say that adds to
outside.
the romantic vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I take back my insult and I'm back on board for that for sure. But their possible date, is disturbed by a few things. First, the mosquitoes are now biting through their clothing. Like they had long sleeves on, I think.
Oh,
Maybe, and either way, they're getting at them. Like
Jesus.
these mosquitoes don't give a fuck. Second, just like
Mm.
before, good old Hitch shows up. His mosquito protection is not a net, but instead is inexplicably a giant wolf mask that he is wearing, and the mosquitoes just fly up the nose of the wolf mask and attack him that way. So
And get him. Did he like think that mosquitoes are afraid of wolves?
I don't know. I
Or
simply have no idea.
there is,
Hitch
we
is
cannot.
just being Hitch, I think.
Okay. Okay. It's
Yeah.
the 3D glasses. They messed it up. He thought it was a hat with a net, but everything was
Yeah.
just his vision is
It's
permanently
just
damaged now.
skewed. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. He actually is like almost
Huh.
legally blind without the 3D glasses. The 3D
Yeah.
glasses help him a little bit out. You know what? Hitch is
Yeah.
out there playing 4D chess because he's seeing in a different dimension.
Everything is in 3D. Yeah. He lives life in 3D.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. So the third thing that disturbs this moment, besides Hitch being attacked by these mosquitoes, is a large dark car that turns the corner on their street and comes to a screeching halt in front of like a telephone pole that's on the corner. And we zoom out a little bit to see this full car, and we realize that it's jet black, the windows are fully tinted, and it's really long. But at first I was like, is this a limo? But we see that on the hubcaps are skulls. And we realize that this is a hearse. So
Oh,
they're
okay.
really leaning into their theme here with their pimped
The
out
theme, yeah, of
hubcaps.
Ouija Fall. Yeah.
Yeah, I know Ouija balls.
There is probably there's a very successful car dealership in Ouija Falls, probably that like only sells Hearsts. I guarantee
Yeah.
you.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the kids are
It's
like not
probably, yeah.
super phased by it. So yeah, most likely a lot of people have hearses
Yeah. They're
driving
like,
around this town.
oh, which rich guy is this
Yeah.
today pulling up to our house
Oh, he's got
in his
skulls on his
fancy hearse?
hubcaps. You think you're better than us?
Cool. Good for him. My dad's skulls are way bigger.
Mimi is like, when I turn 16, I'm inheriting my grandma's hearse. It's old, but it works still. It's from the 80s. So
Yeah, it's a retro hearse.
yeah, the retro. So from this hearse, we see the door open, and out from it comes a very, very skinny old man. He's really like spindly with like a very long, narrow face. His nose is like almost like a twig in the sense that it's like super long and it kind of like dips at the end. He's got
Mm,
really thick eyebrows, kind of a bald spot and like some sunspots on his head. Um, with how
mm.
skinny he is, it also really stands out that he low-key has a hunchback situation going on. So
Oh,
just a creepy, weird
creepy guy.
looking dude. Yeah, creepy guy.
Looks like a guy who would drive a hearse or,
Looks like a
yeah, own a
guy
hearse,
who would
who
own a
also doesn't
hearse.
have a funeral home. Yeah,
Yeah, so it looks like a guy who would own a hearse without also simultaneously owning a funeral home. Indeed.
exactly.
So we see him staple something onto like the telephone pole and then get back into the hearse and drive off. So, of course, the crew here, Mimi, Mo, and Hitch, are like, well, let's go see what that says. And we see an advertisement that this old man just put up. An advertisement says, Royal Exterminators, we send bugs to the grave. Call us 555 I hate bugs. So
Hmm.
they start commenting on one, he's really leaning into this hearse situation, saying, I send
Yeah.
bugs to the grave.
Yeah, it's like the hearse isn't for any of you all. It's for the damn
It's
bugs.
for the bugs, baby. I'm like, which one came first, the
Yeah, nice.
catchphrase or the hearse? We don't know.
Hmm.
But the second thing is that they comment on is they're like, we have never heard of this dude before. Like, I don't know what size town Ouija Falls is. They're like, we've never seen this dude's advertisements before. We would obviously recognize it because this is a catchy marketing scheme. We send bugs to the grave and he
Yeah.
drives a hearse. Like, it's pretty smart. But before they continue their conversation about this, more mosquitoes, of course, come and kind of swarm them. It looks like a full-on cloud of mosquitoes at this point. So their night is over. They all run home.
Mm,
But
yeah.
for right now, we are not going to follow our crew home. Instead, we are going to follow this exterminator and his catchy marketing scheme of a hearse. So,
Mm,
as we've discussed in many episodes or episodes so far, Ouija Falls probably built obviously on a super fun site turned into a swamp,
yeah.
perhaps. So we follow
Yes.
the hearse out of town and to the swamp that Ouija Falls, yes, is surrounded by. And out there in the swamp, there's this giant mansion. It's, of course, covered in cobwebs. The windows are boarded up. This is clearly abandoned. There's even a for sale sign in front of the house that is all but falling apart. Some realtor gave
Mm,
up on this deal. For sale by owner,
yeah. A long
abandoned
time
it.
ago.
Yeah, a long time ago, probably when it was pre-super fun site, and then they started dumping all the waste there. You can't get that off your hands now. This is just an abandoned property.
No.
So we also see a couple things. One, that above this old mansion, there is just like straight up clouds of these mosquitoes buzzing around the
Mm,
sky and kind of surrounding it. And we see the exterminator to this old man pull up in the hearse. And we hear him. This gives us a lot of confidence, by the way, in him as a human being. We hear him muttering
okay.
to himself.
Oh, never
Specifically,
mind.
did you think he was going to say something good?
No, I thought he was going to do something good. I didn't know he was muttering. That, yeah, when you
He
said
was
this
going to
gives
be
us a lot of
like,
confidence in him, I thought you were
Chip
going to
and
say, like, he
Joanna,
fed some abandoned, you know, I was like,
fix
he
his
fed some
house
stray puppies that were coming by. I don't
with the
know. I didn't know what you were going to say
mosquitoes.
next.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
the opposite. Yeah, he's
Uh,
going to fix this house. It's a HGTV show all of a sudden for him. Um,
yeah.
no, instead he's opening up the back of the hearse and he's saying into the darkness in, the part where bodies go, that you must be
Mhm.
hungry after such a long trip.
Oh.
And we see him pull out a giant coffin, of course, and it thunks on the ground and he drags it across the swamp up these like disintegrating front steps as he's saying to the coffin and like kind of knocking down the door and dragging it in there and saying to the coffin, well, mother, how do you like our new home? So,
Oh no.
he's doing so
Uh-oh.
good. Things
Yeah,
are going
oh no.
great in his life.
Very well.
Yes.
He has no psychological trauma or
None.
any sort of issues whatsoever. He is not like Norman Bates at all. This is not the house of a serial killer.
This is not Ed Gein, nothing. He's not obsessed with his
No.
mom, who's definitely alive
Yikes.
in there, in an abandoned home. Things are good
Good. He's
for
doing
him.
really well for himself. Yeah. His
Great. He
mother
saw
would be proud if she weren't in that coffin that he's dragging around with him.
he saw a real estate deal and said, "Let's do this family business. Let's fix it up. I'm gonna flip this
Plot
house and do
twist on the
exterminations
fixer.
on the side."
Plot twist on the Fixer Upper show is that because it's always got to be two people, right? You got Property Brothers, you
Everyone's
got
just
Tip and Joanna, it's him and his mom, but the
and it's
coffin's
just
just propped up against the
weekend
wall the
at
whole time.
Bernie's. They're weekend at Bernieing this corpse
Yeah.
for a HGTV show.
No one
But
has noticed.
mom's doing so good. They just have like a sledgehammer in her hand. It's demo
Uh,
day.
See, she's good. Like puppet strings. It's like her arms going crazy though with the hammer.
Marionetting around.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
This could
things are
work.
good.
I'm excited to hear how
This
this goes for him.
pretty well, I'm gonna tell you. Things are again only uphill
Okay.
for here.
Awesome.
So
Good.
back at Mo's house, I think it's the next day after school again. Mimi and Hitch are over because Mo has called them over for a meeting. His favorite type of meeting, we're learning, a conspiracy meeting. So,
Okay, good.
yeah.
They're gonna say like a seance or something.
I mean,
I just knew it had to be something creepy. That's
it's
actually
one of
light
them.
work for Mo. If it's a conspiracy, that's yeah, good, good.
Well, you know what the conspiracy is yet, but
This is
I'm going
true.
to tell you
Keep
part
going.
one of it right now because it's an ever-expanding conspiracy. So it
Okay.
is not, well, yes. My thought too was kind of on your line of thinking. I was like, ooh, is this a conspiracy about some like creepy alien phenomenon that's causing an influx in mosquitoes or a religious conspiracy about plagues? But no.
Yeah.
Instead,
Oh.
he was just creeped out by the old man driving a hearse, making a puns about advertising death for mosquitoes since he's working in a hearse. So, more specifically, though, being creeped about by this old man, our good old Mo. We always find these people in cartoons. Mo, he's suspicious about big business,
Oh,
basically.
good, good, good.
Yeah, we knew he loved Mo.
He's on the right foot.
He
Yeah.
starts talking about, isn't it weird that this extermination dude showed up right in town when these mosquitoes suddenly showed up? Clearly, his business is
Mhm.
popping off right now, buzzing, if you will, in fact. Um,
Ooh, nice,
thank you. Thank
nice.
you. It just feels a little too good to be true for this random business to be raking in the dough right now. Like this isn't just a ma and pa or a son and ma, perhaps, business
In
going
this
on.
case, I tend to agree. I tend to agree.
But before
Hmm.
he gets any further diving into his theory, he's currently unspooling his red yarn in front of Mo or in front of Mimi and Hitch.
Hmm.
He's got that on lock.
Yeah.
There's a knock at the front door, but they hear, footsteps coming up, and it's just Mo's mom who opens up his bedroom door where they're all hanging out.
Oh. Mhm.
But behind her is our old man exterminator, and his mom is saying that this exterminator is here to fumigate the house because this bug problem has gotten so bad they're starting to enter people's homes. So
Oh
all three of
no.
them immediately jump up, and Mo shoots immediately at the exterminator and says, "Isn't it a little late to be working since, it's after hours, it's after school hours?"
Hmm.
And this exterminator says,
Bug exterminators never sleep.
"For some, but I prefer the graveyard shift." So, yeah, you're right. Never sleeps. Got that graveyard shift in, baby.
Yeah.
He's
You think
again,
those bugs stop at any certain hour? He doesn't stop
I don't
either.
think so. Can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah.
So, this crazy mofo just starts fumigating the room and house with them standing right there in it,
Oh, wow.
on the
Okay.
spot. And of course, they start aggressively, violently coughing. Mimi is like shouting, like, "Don't we need gas masks?" Which, like,
Yeah.
yes, I believe you do,
This
Mimi.
is
You guys
why he
are
has a hearse because all of his clients die
He's a two for
immediately.
one. I'll fumigate your house
Yeah.
and carry away the dead bugs and dead kids or adults that I accidentally kill from you inhaling this.
Yeah. But the bugs are dead. So,
You're
I mean,
welcome.
the warranty lives up to the standard.
Yeah, the hearse is here for a reason. But
Mhm.
no, all of the children and Mo's mom survived the fumigation. But very interestingly, the exterminator, like at the end, house gets fumigated. Mo's mom gets out her wallet to write him a check, and the exterminator turns it down. He says he doesn't charge for his services. Always on the house, always free. So
Oh, no. Uh-uh.
Mo is not
Yeah.
doing well after hearing this, which because this means
Yeah.
a business is getting all this work but isn't getting rich off of it. What's in it for them? Because we know how
Hmm.
capitalism works and this ain't it. So
Yeah.
Mo is even more sus right now. So he does a little experiment with Mimi and Hitch. He washes one of his arms clean and leaves the other one that had essentially been exposed to this noxious gas, dirty. And they let a couple
Hmm.
mosquitoes into the room. And all of the mosquitoes, which at this point we look outside and there's like biblical plague status on the amount of
Oh my
mosquitoes out
God.
there. And every time we look outside, there's just more mosquitoes taking to the skies. But the mosquitoes that fly inside fly right past his clean arm and only start attacking and drinking the blood of the gas exposed.
Mm.
To which they suddenly
Mm.
realize that the gas this exterminator is using isn't a deterrent for the mosquitoes, it is potentially attracting them. So,
Yeah. Mm. This guy's
Mo
shady.
Mo at this point has simply thrown his red yarn like a fucking cat across the room. It's everywhere. He is on his computer, typing away as fast as possible. Mo, like a genius, what he does is he starts cross-referencing towns that have recently reported booms in mosquito populations with local business directories from like the cities and these towns to see if there's been a
Mm.
business called Royal Exterminators that had been registered in those towns. To Mimi and Hitch's shock and Mo's deep satisfaction, they see
Yeah.
every time a boom in a mosquito population has happened, very shortly afterwards, a business called Royal Exterminators showed up in town for the first time.
Mm.
But
Mm.
to everyone's horror, as they continue looking into this and noting this correlation, is that they also see that Royal Exterminators seems to always have left town and stopped doing business in each town right when the mosquito population dwindled. That's not the shock, obviously. They're just good at their job then.
Yeah.
The shock is
Mhm.
that every time this happened, the human population also dwindled, and every single town is completely empty
Mm.
and dispersed of people after this
Oh boy.
occurrence happens.
Okay.
So,
Okay, a lot of thoughts on that, but keep going.
not
A
good,
lot
not
of
good
thoughts.
thoughts.
No,
So,
none of them are good. All of them incriminate this old guy a hell of a lot.
yeah, yeah, the theory of Norman Bates, et cetera, simply is increasing, I'm sure, at this point. But
Yes, absolutely.
Mo is taking a little bit different of a direction. He is like shaking with excitement at this point, declaring,
We might
listen,
all be murdered. Can you guys
listen,
believe
guys, it's finally happening.
it?
My time to shine. Um,
Yeah.
Here's Mo's situation. Mo is saying, one, this exterminator isn't in it for capitalism, aka to rake in the dough.
Yeah.
What could he be getting out of this? The only other thing we are seeing this benefit of, naturally, not good of service to community or anything, is blood. That's number two.
Yeah.
Number three,
Oh.
he's covering their tracks, making sure that there's no one left in any of these towns to warn the next town about, getting siphoned and literally bled out as a town. But Mel asks, why would he
Yeah.
want our blood? What's the purpose of getting our blood? Huh, interesting. This exterminator only seems to work at night. Wants blood, works at night, killing off entire
Mm,
towns. This exterminator can be only
yeah.
one thing. We got a vampire on our hands.
How funny would it have been if he said it could only be one thing, a mosquito?
This old man is a mosquito. I thought you were still going to say serial killer.
Also that, which I guess both of them technically are vampires and mosquitoes in some ways. But yes, wow. Okay, was not expecting this to turn into a vampire episode. Although bats and mosquitoes are two of the only existing animals that live
Yes.
off of blood. So I guess the tie was coming eventually.
Vampires,
Yeah.
mosquitoes, this royal exterminator guy, they love it. So,
Yeah.
this gang decides there's only one solution, which is it's time to go Van Helsing in this bitch and go hunt some vampires.
I just imagine Mimi as Kate. I guess this is from Underworld, not Van Helsing. Never mind. Never
All
mind.
same thing
Which is
as the
also
main,
like a
wearing her long trench coat in Underworld, like
yeah,
getting ready.
exactly. And
Yes.
like the leather. Yeah, that would be
Yep.
hilarious.
All of
Anyways,
the aboves. That is them right now.
yeah.
They, like usual, unfazed, unbothered, only excited. We get a nice quick suit up montage. We see
Oh,
Mo get a silver holy cross, and some broken hockey stick pieces. Mimi, she's
mhm.
got holy
Yeah,
water
stakes.
and a fucking hammer. And Hitch,
Okay. I mean, if it's silver, then I guess that works. It's a
yeah,
silver hammer.
yeah,
Or she
Hitch.
just feels like bashing someone's brains in.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
Yeah.
I guess the hockey sticks are like stakes, but
Yeah, wooden
also just
stakes.
stab and stuff. Yeah, Mimi getting a hammer. Then we got Hitch over here. He couldn't get full cloves of garlic, so he got some of his parents' garlic salt and a rake for, I don't know, fighting's sake.
Again, if the rake is made of silver, maybe, okay.
Yeah,
That's
let's
all
give
we
that to
got.
them, that there's silver in
Yeah.
the hammer and
Actually,
the
no,
rake.
is silver is for I guess it's for both werewolves
Yeah, because like a
and
silver
vampires. That's
bullet,
right.
I think would kill both of them. Yeah, like the
Yeah.
silver cross, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So, interestingly, they do notice as well that some of the swarms of mosquitoes are actually following the hearse out of town. So they're like,
Mhm.
all right, let's go follow this swarm of mosquitoes. We can find where this bro
Yeah.
lives. So, of course, they're following on classic on their scooters, bikes, and rollerblades with, again, their vampire hunting gear, all suited up, which, like, I was like, why isn't there like an 80s coming of age film in which it's kids hunting vampires like this? There probably is, maybe, but either way, would
Yeah,
watch, would
right. There
love.
might be.
Yes. So
Actually, there is Fright
there is.
Night.
No, you know I
Yeah,
haven't
I
seen that.
just watched it recently too, Fright
Oh,
Night. But
great.
yeah, yeah. But
Loosely inspired
this
by.
sounds better though. This sounds sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Go call it that. So, yes, they see the hearse pull up to the house, the creepy old dilapidated house. And again, this guy, he's doing great. As he walks into the home, which like the door is just hanging off the hinges, all of the mosquitoes are swarming around them, and he says, "Come, my pretty, his mother is waiting."
Oh
So,
gosh.
a
The mosquitoes
sign
are in on it too.
a sign that they should follow this stable man into this building full of mosquitoes.
Mhm.
Really good
It seems
idea.
safe.
Seems safe for three teenagers to go explore.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? They're suited up for vampire battle. They got it. They don't give a shit.
They've got a
They're
hammer and
ready.
a rake, Grace, and no worries of the
And
world.
no one can stop them. So,
Yeah.
as they are like scoping this place out, they do notice, interestingly, that some of the mosquitoes, again, that are following the old man into the house, as I mentioned before, we really get to see what they look like. They are like gorged and like swelled up with blood. Wow, we see through some
Mm.
other windows mosquitoes leaving the house going towards town, and they are completely empty of blood. So clearly, some type of exchange situation is happening with these mosquitoes. And Mo is like, they're only ever increasing in numbers. This town is about to get bled out. We have no time to spare. Mimi and Hitch are like, shouldn't we wait until daytime where like vampires can't go outside and like, draw him out and let the
Yeah.
sun, you know, do its
Do its thing.
job, do its thing? Mo,
Yeah.
there's no time to spare. People's lives are on the line right now.
I've been
So
wanting to use these hockey stick stakes for days now, Mimi. Let me
I
have my fun.
I broke them for a reason, okay? It was really hard to break these in half. We like see Mo, who's like the skinniest legs
Yeah.
ever, like trying to break the hockey stick over his leg. You got your little bruises.
Yeah. A lot of
We're
splinters.
doing this. Yeah, so many splinters. So he is hyped up again and he's ready to throw down. So, yes, they burst into the house and see all the mosquitoes like swarming down into the cellar. So they very not subtly like break down that door, and doors are kind of off the hinges, but they bust down into the cellar where all the bugs are headed. But it's a cellar, it's all brick, it's dark, it's damp, it's cold. It naturally has some, black iron candelabras that are lit next to a giant coffin leaning against a dark brick wall. So
He's done some
there's
interior work.
he's making sure that the cellar is on the up and up. He's all ready. Get the camera crews in here. We're ready to
What do you think of
film.
these candelabras? Aren't they
We
beautiful?
were
They're pure
we
antiques.
They're
True
pure
antiques.
antiques. We thought that the wax dripping off of them really, added to the vibe and the aesthetic of vampire, if you will,
Mhm.
down here. This isn't just a vampire layer,
Pierre.
it's a vampire layer.
Yes, Pierre. Exactly.
So, from behind them, at first they don't see anyone again, minus Sans, the coffin and candelabras. But behind them, they hear, of course, naturally, the door upstairs, what was left of a door, close, of course. And we
Mhm.
hear the exterminator's voice saying, "Come to pay your last respects, did you?" But this, I gotta say, they live in Ouija Falls. This is not their first run in with a creepy man or a vampire,
That is
clearly.
true.
Yeah, they're
Probably not even
like,
today, or not even
yeah,
this week.
exactly. Like we saw them in biology class, but we also missed like zombie apocalypse class, vampire hunting class.
Yeah.
We do it all at Ouija Falls. It's a really well-rounded curriculum there at this high school, or at
Yeah.
Lone Pine High, rather. So they
Yes.
all immediately fucking spring into action here. Mo is holding up the cross. Mimi is, dousing him with holy water. Hitch is tapping that garlic salt, getting him covered in garlic salt. But he's trying his best.
He's doing all he can. If nothing else, the vampire will have like, what is too much, like the high sodium levels or something, insulin problems or something. I
Yeah,
don't know. No,
some
that's
heart
sugar,
problems
but
later.
still, yeah, yeah.
But yes, as all this is happening, we do hear the exterminator scream, "You foolish children!" And the chaos continues. Again, these kids, they know how to fucking fight a vampire. Hitch at this point starts running at the casket. That's clearly his next goal. He's going to take this out. But the exterminator has some old man strength and simply grabs Hitch as he starts to run by him and throws him across the cellar instead, slamming him into a
Mm.
wall. And Mimi and Mo, of course, kind of like Mimi like drops the holy water at this point, and they go run towards Hitch as they hear the exterminator still screaming, so perhaps successful, that these kids will pay for this infraction with their blood, with every last drop of it.
Yeah.
So Mo and Mimi are by Hitch's side at this point, and they turn around to see like the damage that they hopefully did. But the exterminator is just a little wet, a little salty because he just got thrown with holy water and some garlic salt. So you know that garlic salt's also like sticking onto him right now.
Yeah,
it's like a
he's
little
like,
sandy
can't
feeling.
get it
Like,
off of me.
shower now. Jesus.
Yeah.
Come on, it's kind of gross. Which at this point, Mimi says aloud, wait, are you even a vampire? And
Yeah, I mean, at any point they should have asked
valid
this. I mean,
question.
although who's gonna say, yes, I am a vampire?
Yeah, what up? Also, Mimi at this point like gives Mo a look, just like, is this even a fucking vampire? Like, did we just corner ourselves with a serial killer, Mo? Mo, the door is locked
Did
upstairs.
we just assault a totally innocent man and break into
Is this
his
gonna be
house?
senior
This poor man is
abuse?
grieving the death of his mother. Yeah.
It's gonna be a case of elder
Yeah.
abuse right now, Mo. Maybe
We're
he
in
just
trouble.
has everyone in this town has a creepy aesthetic. Look at these candelabras. He got them at the local
Literally,
pottery barn. That's what they sell in Ouija
right.
Falls.
It's literally their thing in this town is that everyone has a creepy thing, a creepy vibe about them. It's like, this is just some old
Exactly.
man, Mo.
Yeah, we
He's
can't even
homeless too, so he just had to move into this
yeah, he's
abandoned, rundown
squatted.
house.
We can't even
Yeah.
confirm or deny it. He's either a sad old man or, again, crazy and his dead mom's in there. We don't know. But
Yeah.
either way,
Either way,
Mo,
we shouldn't be here.
we shouldn't be here. Is this even a vampire, Mo? Jesus.
Yeah.
So, yes, the exterminator laughs when he hears this very valid question, which seems like actually the appropriate response. And he says, it is not I who craves the blood. It is done. The blood is, taken as a noble calling, part of my noble quest, a calling that began when I was but a young child. And we get a flashback here
Oh, good.
to
Yeah.
the exterminator as a young child. It's black and white. He is voicing it over and he explains to us. This episode's about to take another turn, Alexis. We're twisting and turning throughout this episode.
Yeah.
He says,
okay. Let's see
a
where it
long
goes.
time ago, my mother and father were dedicated field botanists studying deep in uncharted jungles and rainforests. Yeah, you're like, the fuck? Stick with me here. One day, though,
Yeah, I'm sure it's relevant.
as a mere infant, I became lost. And, editorial note from Grace, like fucking Moses, back to his actual voiceover, floated down the river in but a bassinet as all types of animals tried to eat me, snakes, alligators, even jaguars. But I was saved. Now, this is another Grace editorial note here. It's not a mammal that saves him like a monkey or a wolf, perhaps like in Jungle Book.
Not the Jungle Book, yeah.
Alexis.
Okay, I'm mentally preparing myself for what you're about to say. I have a guess.
Into a villain origin story we're familiar with. We've talked about before on this show.
Oh no.
It's not penguins at the Bronx Zoo like the penguin, but instead he gets saved and thus raised by a giant mosquito queen.
Oh no, that's I tried to prepare myself for you saying something along those lines, and it still wasn't enough preparation.
You did indeed earlier say, oh, is it mosquitoes? And I was going to say put a pin at that, but I didn't want to give it away quite yet. Yes.
Good. Yeah. You had to send me through that emotional roller coaster.
Serial killer to vampire. All the way back. Yeah. Yes. This show's always a psychological roller coaster. All the way back to where we started. with a mosquito. Yes, we see a enormous mosquito lift this baby by her like little spindly legs out of the bassinet and bring him to her colony, which, side note, I don't think mosquitoes live in colonies like bees do with a queen, but also like they don't get bigger than infants. So like, who am I to say? This
So
is who knows what radioactive
the
waste
Moville
could do,
mystery writers, they
you know?
first of all, very true. And second of
Nuclear
all, these
waste.
writers know something we don't. It's fair.
Nuclear active waste, hell of a drug, you know? We don't know what's going on here. So, yes, because this mosquito queen saved him and raised him as one of her own, he has henceforth dedicated his life, his calling, to controlling the great swarm of mosquitoes like his army, who gather fresh blood to give offerings to their glorious queen, like a sacrifice, like a human blood sacrifice to keep her strong. So, questions? You have questions about this somehow?
I don't have questions. No, I was just going to say, it sounds like he's doing really well.
He is being a really
He's
good
a really
son.
good son.
Yeah. Last week was our stepfather's day episode.
If only this was Mother's Day.
This is like a month and a half.
This is our retroactive Mother's Day episode, and last week was our retroactive Father's Day episode. So
exactly.
Don't say we aren't celebrating you, parents.
Yeah, exactly. This is why we poured one out for the dads. This one's for the moms. I was like, we got to have equal footing here. Yeah. So we love that. He is like the best son we've seen on any of our shows, I would go ahead and say.
He's definitely the queen's favorite, for sure.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he is like the commander of this mosquito army. So like, yeah.
He's next in line for the throne.
Exactly. That's really why he's sticking around, you know? Yeah. And back in the present day in the cellar, the exterminator opens up the casket and we see this giant, like truly it's like the size of a human-sized casket. This huge mosquito that's almost like bulging out of it. It's just so nasty. I fucking hate it.
I was gonna ask how it fit because I don't imagine a giant mosquito to be like straight up and down,
bulging out,
human shaped. Yeah,
it like is bulging out of this casket. It is so full of human blood, constantly, and she's just been snoozing through all of this. But Momo, our dear Momo, he's having a hard time letting go of his theories. He's feeling embarrassed, I think, in front of Mimi, who was like,
and Hitch,
who they were like, this is a fucking vampire, bro. Come on now. Yeah. You didn't know that this was a man dedicated to a mosquito because he was raised by them and saved by them? Come on, my dude.
Come on, dude. That was like so obvious.
God, we put that on our bulletin board of possibilities and you just skipped right over it.
You just erased it immediately. Yeah, you need to listen to your
erased off the whiteboard. Yeah, Mo, listen, we're a trio here. Okay, this isn't a solo act. But Mo is like, first of all, rude. Is like, okay, but why do you have to be so creepy about it and act like a vampire? Someone around here has to be a vampire. I have to be right. So like, again, rude. He just called this old man creepy. Again, he's just being a good son.
Yeah, I mean, fair though, too. I'm sure the guy realizes that it's not normal what he's doing.
Again, he's like not doing well. I have been questioning this whole time. Is he also drinking the blood? Because he is very, very skinny. Again,
and he's mentally... think he's not a vampire, my God, a mosquito kind of,
that's how it always happens. Yeah, when you get raised by that.
Like Mowgli kind of thought he was a wolf. Yeah, he was out here howling and stuff in the Jungle Book and like running around with bears and anyway. So yeah, I mean, fair to call him creepy to his face.
And again, I guess he did just say moments for this flashback that you'll pay with every last drop of your blood. So I guess. All right, Mo.
Like, come on, dude. It's off-putting at a minimum.
Dude, this is minimum. You keep sending your tapes to HGTV for these home flipping shows, and they keep saying no because of your vibe.
Yeah.
No one wants to see it.
Middle America isn't really gonna get into that.
We
They're not.
tested it. The only
Yeah.
demo it did good with was mosquitoes and vampires. Okay. That's
Yeah.
not a wide enough audience.
Those audiences don't stick around for the ads, so this just isn't gonna work.
You need to change looks up and down everything about yourself if you want to
Everything.
be on this show. You at least need one dude in a backwards cap who's going to do the demo days. And sir, it does
Yeah.
not look like you can even lift a hammer.
Oh gosh.
So the screaming of Mo, though, slash perhaps the insulting of her favorite son, we see the huge bulging yellow eyes of the queen open, and she slowly rises from the casket. And again, how Hitch had been like yeeted into the other side of the cellar. They're kind of backed up against a wall here. And Mo does the only thing he can think of. He's still holding on to that silver cross. So, kind of instinctively, he just holds it up to the queen, who starts shrieking and backing away back
Oh,
towards her coffin, which Mo at this point says, "Yes, I knew it. She's a vampire mosquito queen."
of course.
So Mo looks right at Mimi and Hitch and is like, see, still a vampire,
I was
baby.
right. I was like kind of right. Okay. I
Guys,
was
say
an
it.
iota
Say
right.
it. Say it. I was right. I was at least half right, which is
Sorry,
the which
guys, tell
case.
me I'm right. Tell me
Guys,
right now. Say I'm
guys,
right. We're
I
not leaving
told
here
you
until you say
so.
I'm right.
I will sacrifice you guys first. Say I'm right, or else I'll say you. I will put this silver cross away. Say I'm right. Tell me I'm right.
Say it right now. Right now.
However, luckily, Mimi and Hitch are able to like snap Mo out of this victory dance. And they're able to kind of create a distraction in the cellar there. They do see the exterminator equipment. So they just like use their little weapons that they brought to like break the gas tanks and fill the basement with gas, which gives the kids a chance to run away as fast as they can, leaving the exterminator and the giant mosquito coughing and kind of blinded for a second. But as they run, they don't see this, but we do. We stay in the cellar for a second because we don't see the gas. We see the gas swarming in this basement, and we hear the exterminator screaming in pain as we suddenly
Uh-oh.
take another turn based on another movie reference that I also referenced in our Totally Spies arc last year. I had referenced that Batman Penguin villain in our Totally
Yeah.
Spies arc because we suddenly see a la Jeff Goldblum in The Fly, wings sprouting from the exterminator's back as he
Oh no.
somehow is turning into a actual human mosquito. I don't know why. Maybe it's the
Oh,
concentration of this
okay.
gas, like poisoning him. I don't know, but it is probably his dream come true. Like he's
Yeah.
probably like,
Yeah.
finally. I don't know why it happens. It does though. He
Mom
is
would
now,
love. Well, no, I guess mom's dead now.
mom is not dead. They again, remember the mosquitoes are attracted
Oh,
to
that's
this
it.
gas. Yeah. It's not actually
Yeah,
exterminating them,
sorry.
it's
I was thinking
attracting
because of
them.
the silver that it like took her out or
Oh,
something. Okay,
no,
so
Mo ran away with it instead of throwing it at her like he should have. So
got you. Like,
he
okay,
was
got it. My bad
actually,
thinking Mo was using logic.
I like to think actually Mo was doing his like touchdown dance. You know how sometimes they'll like slam the ball down? That's what he did with the silver cross when he was like, I knew they were a
Nice, nice.
vampire, and started
I
dancing. And that's
told
when
you.
I told you so. That's
Wow.
when
Okay.
Mimi and Hitch were like, we gotta go. So, anyways, now we have a mosquito man actually on our hands.
Great.
But unfortunately, the kids were covered in that gas as well, meaning the mosquitoes, including our mosquito man, our exterminator turned mosquito man, can easily smell them and follow them to their hiding place, which was the school. And so we see
Mhm.
the exterminator. He still kind of mainly has his body, but his like face has gotten a little scalier a little bit. And he's got like two super thin wings that he's just kind of like buzzing around with. And so we see him. Yeah, I'd swat that immediately if I saw that man. Just
Yeah.
right in the face.
Maybe please get your hammer.
Yeah. Get the rake. I don't care what it is. I'm hitting this thing.
Anything. Hey, get this thing out. out of the air,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Ugh.
So we see the exterminator buzzing slowly around the halls of the dark school, trying to find them. When he hears the clinking of what sounds like maybe like beakers, you know, like kind of like lab equipment,
Hmm.
and he inches and it's like very brief and then stops. So he inches closer to what we see is the biology classroom that the kids were in a few days ago. So he slowly enters, and we're a little nervous here. We're like, they just gave themselves away. They were obviously trying to set something up and they were a little too noisy. But as soon as he enters the classroom, the door behind him closes and he starts looking around the room to be like, are they in the room trapping me here? Like, what's the deal? And we notice that there's a lot of cages in this biology classroom that are now empty. And we, as
Oh
the
no.
viewers, know these are the cages that once held the frogs that
Yes.
eat mosquitoes. And
Mosquitoes.
we suddenly kind of zoom out a little bit and see that the floor is covered in frogs that in mass start attacking this man, including
Oh God.
shooting their tongues out at him. I'm pretty sure hitting his face and eyeball, and
That's
dragging him down onto the floor. And we've zoomed out a little more. Um, we see from the window of the classroom, and mainly, I should say, we see him getting dragged down, but we mainly hear screaming and crunching happening as I guess these frogs devour
are
this
eating
mosquito
him
man in this
alive.
children's show. We are hearing the crunching and breaking of his bones.
And it
Uh,
cannot be lost upon us that although
no,
he is half mosquito, he is also half man.
still a man being
Yes.
eaten by
So
these frogs, alive, no less.
frogs. Again, karma is the
Exactly.
theme of our day, Grace. Our
Precisely.
evening.
Come,
Yes.
come,
Come on,
chameleon, which I think chameleons
come
would probably also eat mosquitoes. So that's mainly why I sang this
Yeah,
song.
I think so. Very good.
But lest you forget, there's still a vampire mosquito queen out there, and she is enraged for, of course, they just killed her number one boy, her number one son.
Her
So,
heir.
her heir, exactly, to her mosquito-y vampire throne. So, as the kids are now running from the school, she starts following them. They're like on their bike slash scooter slash rollerblade situation. And they dash into the woods, kind of into a foresty, hilly area, where as they're running, or Mimi and Hitch rather, are making lots of noise so that she's paying attention to them. And we see Mo quietly peel off from the group. And we don't really
Mm.
see where he goes for a second. But Mimi and Hitch get kind of cornered at this point at the bottom of a cliff when we see the queen inching closer and closer, presumably to make her kill. But right before she dives in to finish off Mimi and Hitch, there is this huge flash that overtakes them at the bottom of the hill. And we see at the bottom of the cliff, and we see on top of the hill is a giant lighthouse with Mo
Mm.
at the top, who
Mm.
has turned on the enormous light and is shining it down upon them. And of
Nice.
course, the vampire mosquito queen is yet but a mosquito. So we see her fly up towards the light and gets too close to it. And of course, it zaps her, but
Mm.
not quite enough. She falls down a little bit, but she's still alive and still hungry and angry.
Mm.
However, they've bought enough time for the actual sun to rise. To which,
Oh.
again, as the final I told you so to everybody from Mo, she, still somehow being a vampire, starts literally burning, melting until she literally explodes above them,
Oh.
raining down body parts upon Mimi and Hitch on the ground as Mo cheers and says,
Oh.
"Gets them every time."
There's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot of combination of things happening. Mo doesn't care about any of them except that he is right.
Yeah.
And also, in case we were left wondering again about the exterminator mosquito man, of like, haha, maybe they were just kidding that they ate him alive. We end the entire episode with a zoom in on one of the frogs who is taking the last swallow of a very thin but large wing that we had seen earlier on the mosquito and just swallows it on up. And that's the end.
Wait, great job, first of all.
Thank you. It was a wild episode.
Wait, so I'm confused. The sun rose back up, but then was
they
just eaten again?
Oh, no. Sorry. The actual sunlight rose and exploded the queen. That's why you were so confused. No, sunshine rose.
Okay. Because then when you said she exploded, I was like, wait, from the lighthouse light or from
Oh, no, sorry, that was confusing.
Nice.
S-U-N rose, and then we saw the S-O-N confirmed kill at the end.
Confirmed to be dead. To be dead. Excellent. So yes, so Mo was right. Karma's a bitch. And
exactly.
Yeah. And also when you said body parts flew everywhere after she exploded, I don't know why, but my mind was thinking human body parts, like she ate humans whole, but then I was like, oh wait, no, that's not how it works. It's like, oh, her body parts. That's way more appropriate for this children's show.
Exactly. We've already seen some mosquito man get slightly eaten alive. Yeah. They were like only one visual human death at a time. Monster deaths,
let's take it easy.
We want. Yeah. Human deaths still make it kind of monstery. They barely edged out for that one. So
amazing.
Yes.
Great job.
There you go. Thank you. This was a wild one. Again, I kept similar to you. I kept thinking like, okay, yeah, Weekend at Bernie's situation going on. Okay, no, serial killer situation going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, we've got a vampire situation going on. Oh, okay, no.
Just kidding. She is a mosquito.
A mosquito.
Just kidding. She is a vampire mosquito.
Queen. Yes, it was. Also, thus, royal exterminators. He was part of the royal family situation.
That makes sense. Got it.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah, twists and turns. And also low-key fully admitting that there were multiple towns dead in their wake. So, also mass murderer situation. So,
serial killer type vibes coming from this. And not even type, just serial killer vibes.
So we were correct on all
acknowledged.
Of the theories that this man was, all of those things. So, there you go.
I will say too, earlier on in the episode, I was kind of thinking I was leaning too much into the Norman Bates theory that we very, very briefly had going. That obviously was turned on its head, kind of. But I was thinking, is he just like harvesting blood and like re-injecting it into his dead mother to try to bring her back to life? Like, I know that is not where this cartoon is going.
I mean, Dahmer, I'm pretty sure
was about halfway there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Jeffrey Dahmer who would put like not quite antifreeze, but some type of chemical like that, like experimented with injecting it into the heads of the boys that he killed, try to make zombies out of them. So, just a little fun fact, a little pleasant fact for you all.
Yeah.
That is probably what this man at some point did with.
Yeah, he tried.
Yeah. I don't know how the queen was getting the blood. Maybe it was from that. We don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's old enough to probably come up with something. Yeah.
Exactly. He's had a lot of time. He's getting creative.
He's thought this through. Yeah.
Exactly. So,
every city is a different test case for him. So he's able to like level up with each city he goes to. Like, okay, this didn't quite work there.
It wasn't fast enough here. Okay, what about this time? How do I do my grassroots organizing and marketing for myself? How do I spread the word?
I've got to learn to use Canva to make these bulletins, these things that I'm stapling onto these telephone poles.
Yes, exactly. So, there you go.
Nice.
Little royal exterminators.
Amazing. Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Moville Mysteries is just, we're getting warmed up still, but I guess we're almost halfway through now, and they are just fully acknowledging mass murder and serial killer sprees. So that is canon to this show. So, hey, they warned you in episode 1. Hold your butts, kids.
Hold your butts. Exactly. And they weren't
about to hit the fan.
Yeah, probably yours. Children.
We told you.
To
hold them.
Yeah, exactly. So, yes, between now and next week, you'll be back with another Moville Mysteries episode. Who should our listeners and viewers tell about this show?
This week, because I think we've already done an exterminator when we did
We
that
have
episode
the
of
fly
Totally
episode. Totally
Spies.
Spies.
Yeah. Still haunting my memories, that
Yep,
episode. Good
100%.
God.
That dude was so creepy.
Yeah. Who's creepier? Sorry, that guy or this guy?
I think that guy, because he was like trying to marry
There was
up,
like the child
wife up
bride thing going
Alex.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So that
But
automatically wins no matter what this guy today was
yeah,
doing. I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, don't tell an
Go back and listen to
exterminator
that
because we've
episode,
already done it.
everyone.
Yeah, yeah. And then you can tell an exterminator after listening to that episode.
Yes,
But for
exactly.
for the
So for
purposes
this
of
one,
today, tell a friend of yours, we all have one. Tell your friend who just no matter where they go, they seem to always get bitten up by mosquitoes
what's
or
up?
whatever. Yeah. So in my case, I'm going to tell Grace. Grace, listen to Saturday
Yep.
Morning Mysteries.
Oh my God. Okay. It sounds like such a great, creative, and funny show. I would
It's
love
like
to.
it's only the best podcast that exists right now.
Yeah, it
So
sounds like it. I'll tune
yeah,
in.
yeah, you'll believe me. Who should they
Yeah.
tell?
After that, because this episode, I was like, wow, this is a good timing of an episode. Again, we were a month and a half late for
Yes.
Mother's Day, but instead I thought of, oh, it's summertime. We're out camping this time of year.
Hmm.
This is also when there are a ton of mosquitoes coming out. They're waking up for the summertime. There's summertime buffet. So I was
Hmm.
thinking about different people at campgrounds and a campground host or a park host because they're out there
Okay.
24/7 dealing with mosquitoes. So tell, yes, at a campground host, or like a park host while you're out enjoying
Nice.
summertime and hopefully not getting eaten up too much by mosquitoes, the
Hmm.
devil spawn of this earth. And
Yes.
with that,
Rising from the flames to
yes, from the ashes,
torture and
like
torment all of us.
yes, for all time. So I guess they're successful at that. Good for them. And I guess. All
For
right. Well,
us.
we'll see y'all next week.
Till then, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Saturday Morning Mysteries.
If you enjoyed this episode, please share, rate, review, leave us a like, and drop a comment. We post episodes every Saturday and bonus tune tangents whenever we feel like it. So please subscribe so you don't miss the shenanigans.
And if you want to follow us on YouTube, click the bell under the YouTube subscribe button to receive notifications when new videos are posted.
And if you want to subscribe to the podcast, we have no idea what you're listening to us on. So just hit the big subscribe button on whatever app you're using. We believe in you.
Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram at SatmornMist, all the abreves, and let us know if you have any episode or show requests by emailing SaturdayMorningMysteries@gmail.com.
Thanks to Jenna Kendall for the logo design and to Ava Sakiki for the music used during this week's episode.
See y'all groovy kids next week on Saturday Morning Mysteries.